FOT Nation, it's Tim Sackett, and I'm back presenting our first ever video cast with our sponsor, Smashfly, and it's called SmashUps, and it's really regarding everything around recruitment marketing, recruitment automation, a really cool space right now, so much stuff happening, and so we decided, hey, let's go out and actually do a monthly video cast, and so it's called SmashUps. And welcome, this is the first one, and I'm really happy to introduce our first guest, which is Tracey Parsons. Tracey is the Director of Recruitment Marketing Practice, and so Tracey, welcome first and foremost. You see me in my Michigan State Sparty stuff. You're an Ohio State Buckeye. We're both right here in the Midwest, but explain to us kind of what you do for Smashfly.
Well, my job at Smashfly is really, Smashfly's this amazing technology company, and what they've realized over the past year or so is that their customers really need some assistance and guidance and consulting when it comes to realizing that vision of modern recruitment marketing. So I was brought on to build a consulting practice for our customers and help them really realize that vision of what they could be moving forward for talent.
No, it's really, to me too, it's like one of those things where I was just talking with somebody the other day, and I go, we're trying to turn talent acquisition departments into marketing departments. So, in a way, the reality is those people were not prepared for that, right? I mean, that's the hard part.
Not at all. And one of the things that I keep talking about to our team is that you have to realize that you're talking about recruitment marketing, and you're talking about this to talent acquisition leaders who are accustomed to being recruiters, and they're used to taking people and finding a great fit in their company and working with them to make a great impact on the organization. They're not used to a funnel or, taking into market analysis and looking what candidates are talking about and really doing some social listening and all of those things that marketers do. So there's an education gap, and it's also kind of scary. Like if somebody tells you tomorrow, hey, your job is totally different, that's like, humans hate change.
Well, and it's like recruitment marketing has flipped talent acquisition upside down, because for so long, so many talent acquisition leaders, and I probably started my career out this way as a talent acquisition leader with this belief that people want to come work for my organization. We're a great organization, and we just need to put the jobs out there, and those great people are going to come find us. And you're kind of like, all of a sudden now you're in this world where you go, there's so much noise, and you're like, no, people don't even know you have openings, and you have to tell them.
I mean, if you think about it, candidates are a lot like shoppers, and sometimes they're standing in the middle of the grocery aisle looking at all of the cereal boxes in front of them in the myriad of opportunities. I mean, they really are consumers these days, and so it really isn't enough to just take a requisition from the ATS and put it on a job board and say, yay! That's not going to work, because you're just going to look like every other cereal brand.
Yeah, so part of the video cast is I'm going to ask you 3 questions, right? So it's quick and dirty, and we'll get in and out. So my first question, I know you guys work with some of the top companies in the world at Smashfly, and so give us some insight on what the best companies are doing right now with recruitment marketing.
Well, they're really doing 2 things, and they're really easy things, but that's going into that transition. So the first thing they're doing is they're really putting themselves in that candidate mindset. They're going through and looking at, what are we really offering that candidate? What is our value proposition? And then they're using all of the tools available to them to bring that value proposition to life. And they're making it about the candidate. They're not making it about the company. And you even said this at the beginning, they're going to want to come to work for my company because we're a great company. And while that's true, there's very little what's in it for them in that statement. And I think the best companies are really looking at really what's in it for talent? So that's really the first thing. They're really thinking like talent, and they're looking at their value proposition, and they're using all the tools. And that's another thing that's dizzying in talent acquisition, mm-hmm. The volume of tools that we have, and the media sources and the ways that we're reaching. I mean, that very top of the funnel awareness is huge.
Yeah.
So the very best companies are really focused on that top half of the funnel, the awareness and the consideration phase, and they're putting it in the mindset of a candidate. The other thing that they're doing that is completely differentiated is measuring.
Yeah.
They have very significant key performance indicators that they look at. They are looking at every part of their funnel, from awareness all the way to hire, even down past hire to advocacy, to finding what tools are working for them, what delivers quality, which is another thing that the best brands are working on right now. It's not about more, it's about better, because more is just more. Our clients right now are trying to find quality, and they're developing metrics and KPI to support quality. So instead of looking at cost per hire, they're looking at cost per quality hire, and they're trying to see, what of these new hires are sticking in our organization longest, producing the greatest amount of impact on our organization, and oh, by the way, where did they come from? And how can we change our investment to get those people really engaged in our organization? Because you got to fish where the fish are. And if your great fish are coming from one specific source, or they're influenced by a number of different sources, that's where you've got to invest. So the two things that they're really doing is they're thinking about that candidate journey, and they're really impacting the candidate journey, creating levels of personalization, really communicating with them. I'm also responsible for Smashfly's employer brand.
Uh-huh.
And, one of the things that we hear all the time is that our messaging makes candidates feel like we want them to be candidates.
Yeah.
And what's wrong with that?
Yeah.
Right? So it's like, you should be happy that they're here. So it's really about them, and then the measurement piece. I can't speak highly enough of developing those key performance indicators and then measuring them, and that's really what the world's biggest brands are doing.
When I think of the technology and all that latest technology that's out there, it's one of the key pieces, I think, is that measurement side. That talent acquisition for the longest time kind of relied on their ATS to give them a really kind of low-level kind of metrics analysis of anything they might have, and a lot of times it was kind of garbage in, garbage out. They were getting bad metrics. And I think when you take a look at the best and brightest recruitment marketing tools that are out there, there really is a ton around the metrics measurement and analysis of really getting good, clean data and really understanding what you're doing and why you're doing it. You kept saying one thing, and so I'm going to back up because I still think the audience is pretty naive to what recruitment marketing automation is, and you talk about funnel a lot, and you kept saying top side of the funnel. Explain to everybody watching real quickly, like that funnel side. What do you mean by top side of the funnel?
So the top side of the funnel, and this is a marketing term, and again, we talk about, we're changing your job dramatically. Yeah. You're going to have to think about this. Before in talent acquisition, the funnel was really the end. Mm-hmm. We wanted to attract applicants. We wanted people to come to our website and submit an application.
Yep.
But in my mind's eye, that's like walking up to a stranger on the street and asking them to marry you.
Yeah, right? You're going right to the end point. Right. Hey, right you look really good. We should be married.
We should kind of get married.
That doesn't work very well.
It doesn't, right? So what marketing automation has done for marketing, recruitment marketing automation is going to do for recruitment. So what we've tried to do is lift the veil off the top half of that funnel. And the funnel steps are really awareness. So the universe of people who might be interested in your job. Mm-hmm. Consideration, that smaller subset of people who are actually interested in you and considering you as an employer. And then the third part of the top part of the funnel is interest. And that's when they're just willing to give you enough information to learn more about you. And again, if we're talking about candidates as shoppers and consumers, that interest part is where the rubber meets the road for recruitment marketing, really. But awareness is the universe of humans that are interested in work. Consideration is the ones that are interested in thinking about you. And then that interest is when they've expressed interest to you. Then there's the selection piece, which is getting into that, that application piece.
Yep.
So application comes right after interest, and then selection and hire. And then the bottom half of that funnel after they've been hired is advocacy, right? So how do you really engage those current employees to become brand ambassadors for the company? So the top half of the funnel, that awareness, consideration, interest, is really where recruitment marketing lives. And it's what didn't exist before. So before it was like, hey, apply now. More it's like join our talent network, yep, or subscribe, or express some interest, or raise your hand. And the best brands are making it really easy to raise your hand. So they're getting that lead so that then they can nurture that person into an applicant. But they can also use that to screen people in and screen them out.
And I think it's getting away from this just-in-time kind of mentality of recruiting where I have an opening, I have to fill it right now, and that's all I care about. And it's more of a longer-term version of, hey, we're going to have openings throughout the history of our company. I'm going to have openings right now. I'm going to have openings a year from now, 3 years from now. There might be the best candidate ever in the world that we want to come work for us, but they're not ready right now, but they're going to be ready a year from now. And how do I make sure I keep contact? How do I make sure I prepare myself and that candidate to come work for us? So it's a much broader vision of talent acquisition than what we have as opening, fill, opening, fill, opening, fill.
It is. And I think it's designed to make talent acquisition more efficient and effective. And so one of the things I talk to customers about all the time is that we have this metric of time to find, or time to fill.
Yeah.
Right? So we talk about time to fill, but that's reliant on a lot of other avenues, right?
Yeah.
So I always talk about them to start measuring time to find. You know, how long does it take us to find a really great slate of candidates? That's a recruitment marketing measure,
yeah,
as opposed to a talent acquisition measure. So it's things that we have to look at a little bit differently.
So you've already really answered all of my questions, but I'm going to tell people what the questions were, because the one was, like, literally, if someone's trying to get started, what are those baby steps, right? And so I think the first step you would say was being, really getting yourself prepared with that mindset of, no longer are we just thinking of this, candidate or applicant as somebody that applies for the job, but be much broader. Once you get your mindset to there, now you open yourself up to saying, hey, let's really go out and take a look at what recruitment marketing and automation can do. So my last question was, where is all of this leading to, right? Where do you see this all going and it's moving so fast. So I'm not even going to say 5 years, because I don't think we can even envision where this is going to be 5 years. What about a year, 2 years from now? Where do you see this going?
Well, I think it's going to evolve like any changing and shifting entity. I mean, we're going to develop specialization. So earlier said, that are we going to turn talent acquisition into marketing departments? I don't think so, because you're not going to ever have marketing and sales go beautifully together. Mm-hmm. And that's how I think recruitment marketing and recruitment go very well together, because the best recruiters are closers. And they're really good at closing, and they're going to sell the organization, and they're going to take that lead that's generated from recruitment marketing, and they're going to close it and bring them into the organization. But then they're going to be specialists that really specialize in recruitment marketing. I mean, maybe even down the road, we have people that are talent managers within the organization that are like account managers for the existing company talent. So
yeah.
We talk about, I think that we're going to kind of develop this model around sales and marketing. But we're going to have to, we still have to market ourselves. We're still going to have people that have to close, and those recruiters are amazing at that. Some of our most advanced recruitment marketers that we work with are recruiters, and they have that marketing mindset. And some of the recruiters are like, no, I love to close. I'm like, do what you love. That's what makes a difference, and that's what's going to make a difference for the organization. Back to baby steps. One baby step, the very first thing I did at Smashfly.
Yeah.
Was rewrite all the job descriptions. So if you talk about baby steps, that's as baby steps as we got when I first got to Smashfly.
Well, and again, not rewriting them in terms of the classic HR job description, but in terms of a job posting, in terms of a marketing document of why would you want to work in this position for our company, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, Tracey, you had some awesome ideas. I want to thank you very much. That's really cool. So everybody can check her out. Tracey Parsons, she's on LinkedIn. She's T Parsons on the Twitter, so you can check her out there as well. Connect with her. She's got some great ideas. I'm sure she's willing to share some of them for free, as long as you connect. So everybody, hey, this was the first episode of SmashUps. I hope you love it. Check out Smashfly, our sponsor. We really love having them on. Of course, Fistful of Talent. Check us back here every month for the new and latest SmashUps. This was the first episode. Tracey Parsons, thank you very much.
Thank you, Tim. Have a great day.
Thanks.